Well, apparently the United Kingdom hasn't resorted to Walking Dead D-Day zombie apocalypse style rules, and the furries have yet to be made the fox hunters' treat. So instead, I want to talk not about Brexit, that's on the political channel linked below. I want to talk about Wuhan and the Ebola elixir, or Hong Kong flu for those who are at all interested, the coronavirus. There are a number of videos people have done on the subject, all of which highly informative. I'm going to link one down below. Only one, because there are too many and I don't care enough to go and get all of the links. People have understandably been fleeing back to their nation states when they themselves may be affected or infected by the coronavirus, which is causing a whole mountain of problems. China have quite hastily put up a bunch of hospitals. Well done, you industrious little fellows. Australia and a bunch of other countries have live cultures of the virus and are now all working to try and come up with a cure. They will undoubtedly do so because they're really good at what they do. Failing that, fire. Australia's really good at that right now. I hear they have some fantastic top-notch arsonists. Perhaps we could share those about. See how natural selection really works. To combat this virus, though, there are some people in China, because they lack the education to fully understand how the virus is transmitted, have taken it upon themselves, in their homes, many stories high in their flats, to believe what their friends tell them or a quick Google search on the highly restricted Google, and blame it on the cat. And to resolve this crisis, because they're geniuses, they are launching their cats out of the window. 9 lives won't save them from such a height, and it didn't save a single one of them. I'm not going to put a picture of that on the screen. You have my word. If I ever saw or see anyone do such a thing to an animal, you can be sure the first thing that happens next is they follow. I won't need to skip ahead to Cthulhu 2020 with no lives mattering, because your life didn't matter anyway. Because you decided who had the right to decide who got to live and die. That is pathetic. This all came about because of a doctor in China said on Chinese state TV that if a pet comes into contact with suspected patients, they should be quarantined. However, a local media outlet tweaked the words to say that cats and dogs can spread the coronavirus, with this then spreading like wildfire, especially around the area where this all started, allegedly, which then led to some people running over dogs, nice, launching cats from high-story windows. We know they're pets because they were groomed quite well, essentially causing mass panic and lashing out at defenseless animals who are somehow to blame, when if anyone bothered to put on their skepticism cap for a second, it's the same one as the dunce hat, except it's covered in tin foil and disappointment. It should be noted, there is no evidence that shows cats and dogs can contract the coronavirus, something which is backed by the World Health Organization. Understandably, people in China probably don't know this, because China pretty much censors everything. So all they see is cats and dogs can contract the coronavirus. That's all they see. Well done, China. Perhaps you should spend more time not trying to hide everything from your people and be honest about things for once. In this instance, since there are now, I believe, over 300 reported cases of people dying, I know you've got quite a few people in your country, but that's still a lot of deaths. Unnecessary ones due to a lack of education. It should be noted, at present, there are confirmed cases in Canada, the US, Australia, China, Nepal, India, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, the UK, Germany, France, Italy, with there being some suspected cases in Mexico, Finland, Ireland, and Russia. Fingers crossed it is resolved quickly with a collaborative effort to find a cure, because one does not want to be wasting so much time fixing something which probably the Chinese people won't know much about anyway, because let's face it, if their government's not telling them the basics, or they're allowing the media to tweak it to seem more clickbaity, which then just scares people rather than gets them to read the article in the first place or listen to the news coverage, which is intellectually dishonest, I think we can all agree. Perhaps they should work with the rest of the world that is trying to find a cure. I only know about the fact that China's not because of a video by White Sith Male because he bothered to look into this. Well done, Sithy. Subscribe to him, linked below. I'm not too familiar, and to get back on track, with China and its animal rights protections. Because I see too much of the negative, I'm not entirely sure if there's any positive. Peter, in one of the very few times where I align with them, they have a Asia press officer for China, with them indicating they hope the police find the guardians of these poor animals as soon as possible. But then went on to talk about the filthy factory farms, which I again agree with, the slaughterhouses, the meat markets that threaten the health of every human being on the planet by providing a breeding ground for deadly diseases like coronavirus, SARS, bird flu, and more. All of which is incredibly serious, and something that's starting to bug me, because a number of articles have been recommended to me since the coronavirus has cropped up, showing dogs being cooked alive, barbecued even, yelping in agony, and I'll promise you this, I'll never show any of it, but that's actually given me nightmares for the better part of a week. It scares me a little bit that people are so cold about it, in how they deal with live animals. It is a level of cruelty beyond anything I can understand. I find it very hard to find a positive in that, because I'm surrounded by dogs, so I don't understand the appeal in the slightest, and the appeal when added to them being alive as you cook them. That baffles me, genuinely. Now, to get back on track again, because I do apologise for my anger in some of this, I want to quickly address the one positive that may be coming from this, and maybe Nike should pounce on this, and that is the increased sale in face masks. Right. While those things look beautiful on surgeons, they're not going to stop things from getting... They're not... No. Go buy a gas mask if you're that scared, but even then, that's not going to help you. How about this? Tackle the problem, and then when a vaccine is created, get vaccinated. Change your practices that lead to such a thing arising in the first place. Didn't people originally say this was because of bats being bathed and people eating the bat bath water? Had they not learnt anything from Belle Delphine selling her bath water? I mean, I know it's profitable, but seriously. I think this is one of the very few videos where I've used the angry expression throughout an entire video. I'll try and change that up for tomorrow, but this is quite irritating to me. I do apologise. The dog stuff especially. There is an increase in sales on the face masking, by the way, for dogs, which was actually created in 2018 to protect them from air pollution. I've got a better idea for you, one that will help you. How about you do something about the air pollution to begin with, so you don't generate as much, which means that people don't need to go out and buy them in the first place. While I'm all about that industry, the rest of the world is trying to be cleaner, and you, China especially, are getting worse. Worse? Doesn't matter. The point stands, it's been proven over and over again. I am somewhat surprised I've yet to hear Greta Thunberg go and do a speech in your country. No doubt it'd be heavily redacted to, I love pollution. Give me more. Okay, you gotta laugh, okay? Anyway, to end, there is a new video on Moistski Live. The competition I ran for the Red Glitter Moist badge is over, and I had 2 entries, so I've made a runner-up badge as well, both of which I mailed today. Ray Dale, if you're watching, you won. Well done. Commiserations, little ease. Yours is in the post though, I hope you enjoy it. Also, I created an Etsy store. I'm going to link it, but I haven't finished yet. If you're at all interested in supporting the channel, that's how you can do that. You could follow on BitChute, Minds, Gab, Twitter, or support on Patreon. I don't really mind. It's up to you, really. Anyway, I hope you'll have a fantastic Monday, and thank you all for listening.